It's connecting. There he goes. Sammie, what's going on with you?
Doing, beautiful queen.
I am doing good, King. How you feeling?
I'm awesome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. No, thank you for being here. I feel like normally I start with like, well, what have you been doing during quarantine? But sir, you've been working.
Been busy. I've been booked and busy during quarantine.
You have been working. I want to know, has it been hard at all to kind of stay motivated with everything going on, or have you just been in that creative space?
Not to stay motivated. I released my fifth studio album right in June, and it debuted #1 on the R&B charts on iTunes.
Such
Right,
is life. Shout out to that.
but I felt before we released it, I felt a little conflicted. Doing promoting an album during a pandemic and racial war. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
Seriously.
I didn't want to be insensitive to such a sensitive time. But then
Yeah.
and that God has given me the gift of song to heal people and to give them something to love and appreciate, and
Yeah.
the right decision by putting it out. But God has really, really, really blessed me during this pandemic, and it's such a terrible space that we're in as a nation.
Yeah.
But through my art, I've been able to kind of cope, and I needed that for myself. I feel heavy some days. It's not all peaches and cream this way, but I've truly been blessed.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of the different artists that I've spoken to have kind of had that same struggle as far as like, do I put something out? Like, is it insensitive? So you're
Mhm.
definitely not the only one who kind of, went back and forth with it. But I think, like you said, it's just something to kind of, even if for 5 minutes, just give people an escape.
Yep.
Listen to an artist they love, listen to music that they can enjoy. So
Yeah. Very,
we're definitely glad you did it. Now, I'm kind of curious to know because, you've been doing this, you've been in this game for a very long time, Sammie.
yeah.
was it was it hard for you, or I guess what was the most difficult part as far as transitioning from like this child star to the man you are today? Because I feel like sometimes we can kind of box in child stars and not really know how to receive them when they get older.
You know what? For me, it was a little effortlessly done because of the way God gave me my story. So I got success at the age of 12 through 14, right? So you got from the bottom to the top, I Like It, Crazy Things I Do for Love, Hardball. And then out of nowhere, there was no announcement. I just left. I was gone for 4 years. I went to high school to enjoy a sense of normalcy to some degree. And in those years, I grew up. You know what I'm saying? I became this 18-year-old kid that came back to the game with You Should Be My Girl and Come With Me and Kiss Me Through the Phone. And
Right.
my ex-manager in 2009, at the time he was my manager, took everything from me. I found out he was just a terrible being, and it forced me underground. So I didn't take a hiatus, but I had nothing. I had $0, no deal, no budget, no label, no manager, no anything. And
Wow.
it took 7 years before I went viral on Shade Room, 2016. And that's what brought me back. And at that time, I'm tatted up. My hair is
Got the beard.
you know, and so people thought I was just like ducked off becoming this guy. And then I was really going through things and going through just the cards that I was dealt. And each time that I left, it created this mystique about myself, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is Sammie
Yeah.
up? Even know if he's still doing music when in essence I was hidden in plain sight. I was right here the whole time. So for me, because of the way again God orchestrated my story, it allowed me those years to really grow and develop and become the man that I am today. And my fans have been receptive.
And I do want to talk about, you mentioned, that first break you took was to go to high school. You said, why was it important for you to do that and take that time for yourself, even when you were at such a successful point in your career?
Yeah, my mom and my dad asked me something. I was on a special at the time for 48 hours. They did they followed me from the beginning all the way to the release of my album, and I Like It going #1. And on that interview, they asked me, was I happy? And I'm a very vulnerable, sensitive man. So I was super vulnerable and honest as a little boy. I said, sometimes. I was like, sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes I'm not, because it's hard to adjust being this child star and then being like a regular kid. And when I said that, my mom and dad did not like that reply. And they thought it would be best to take me out of the limelight and to allow me to enjoy my childhood. And I'm glad I did that. I was homecoming king and I played basketball.
Okay.
I was in the Renaissance program. I actually got to go to prom. I used to get lunch money from my mom every day. You know what I'm saying? I got to really enjoy
Wow.
being a kid, now it wasn't all peaches and cream. Like guys hated me because the girls loved me when I was in school. So I used to have security help me get to class and stuff like that, so I didn't get jumped on or nothing. But
Wait, you had security walking you to class in high school?
yeah, every day.
Oh, well, yeah, you just stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, every day. By my junior year, the students at that school got used to me, but for my freshman year, it wasn't so smooth. They couldn't understand like why they could go home and watch me on 106 in Park, but sit next to me in geometry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It sense to them. So I never forget my first day of school. Once the word got around that Sammie's here, the principal and the faculty called me in, and they were like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Man, you might want to call my mom." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "I'm kind, you know."
Call mom, dude.
Dropped off at school like I was a regular kid. I'm like, Mom, I'm on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like these girls or guys are gonna know who I am. So they had
that is hilarious. But I'm sure that was an adjustment though.
Yeah, but it was very, very tricky for me. But I'm looking back, I'm happy that I got to experience that. It taught me a significant myself. And those friendships still last these days. Like I'm still cool with, a lot of people that I went to high school with. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
That's super, super important to me. Like love and relationships and the brotherhoods that I've garnered while I was in high school.
Did you think about going to college after?
I did for a second. I was going to go to FAMU and be a psych major. Why people think the way they think, and I have this ability as a friend to talk people through their problems and their issues.
Okay.
But having success at 12 through 14 and going to school, I hated class. Like I loved the people, but I used to sit in class like, man, I'm not going to use you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not using none of this curriculum that you're giving me. So I couldn't see myself staying focused if I'd have went to college. Like if I went to college, I was been partying and messing around with the girls. So I was like, I'm gonna go try this music thing out and see if the world still love me.
Well, we are glad you did. So All Night, the visual is out today. If you guys have not seen it, please make sure you go run up the views. The visual's out. Yeah. Now, I feel like normally I would ask, well, what is it about in your words? I think the title kind of summarizes what that's all about, Sammie. So tell me how you teamed up with Luke Nasty and how you guys came up with the visual for it.
So it's so crazy. That song, Luke Nasty sent it to me 2 years ago. It was his song. He was rapping on it, wanted me to feature on it. So I did the hook. But he wanted it to have the best look it could have. So he just held on to it. And as I started with life, I needed a sensual record, but that felt good, like a vibe that you would just want to ride to or, party to. And I out to him and I was like, bro, you ever going to use the song that? Yeah, but what's up? I'm like, let me add 2 verses on it and you feature on it if you don't mind. He was like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm working on my album. I need this vibe. And, it's self-explanatory. All Night is just telling the girl, like, we about to be passionate and sensual all night. So cancel all your plans. But the visual, I didn't want to over-sexualize it. So I was like, in my peace video, I got to have my siblings and my mom and my dad in it.
Which was a beautiful video, by the way. That was really well done.
Thank you. And then, so this one, I got these are really my friends. These girls that's running around, the dudes that's in it. I got my god baby in there. And, like, it was just what we really do at my crib. I invite everybody over and we party and we drink and we play music and play games. So I wanted the visual to be fun, not so sexual since the record is.
Since we're getting that already.
Yeah.
I see that, lately, it seems that it's really important for you to go live with your fans, particularly when you're making music, when you're in the studio. Why do you feel like, and really, I'm talking about from beginning to end, like you'll be on there singing, like mixing all this stuff, redoing stuff. Why is it important for you to have your fans really so included in that process with you?
I just owe it to them because I went through label changes. I went through management changes. I was underground for 7 years. I was trying to figure it out. I left for 4 years after being #1 in the country. I don't want to abandon them ever again. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt bad that I didn't get to announce to the world, like, hey, I'm going to school. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, I'm going through this with my ex-manager. I still do music. I'm just going through shit in life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that I'm back and I'm coasting and my money's good and my mental good and my spirit is full. They need to see that, And I thought, would it be, at least during this quarantine, it hit me like, I'm working on a new album called Sunsets, although I'm promoting Such Is Life. Maybe they should watch how I write the music at my desk that I'm sitting at right now, you know? And take them in the studio after I record it, and then they're going to watch it get mixed down. And they watch when I notice something that I need to go fix and do better, or
Right.
and feed off their energy. So this Sunsets album is their album. They created it with me. And I don't think that's ever even been done before, you know, where we kind of like to have mystique in the music. We hold on to it, and then we just, September 4th, we drop an album, and the world goes on. But for me, I'm not, I don't know how to explain it. I don't care about fame. I don't care about celebrity. I just, I'm blessed to do music for this long, do it the way I want to do it, and just be unapologetically my simple self.
Yeah.
And this is my way of creating my next album. It's like, we're going to do it together. When I write, they're going to see me write. When I sing it and play it back 3-4 times, it's theirs. They're going to know this album before it even comes out. You know, I say live. They can go to my lives or my IGTVs and watch it whenever they feel like it. And I just think that's dope. They will feel forever connected to the Sunsets album because from top to bottom, they helped me create it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, like you said, that's not really something that we have seen. And it's really a dope experience for fans to be a part of it. And I think it makes them just probably more that much more connected to it, I'm sure.
Yeah. And love with the process. And when I say the process, like in life, like a lot of people only see the results. You only see us at award shows, or you see us at tour. You don't see the countless hours we put into studio time. You don't see when we're suffering from anxiety or the world is driving me crazy. I share all of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave this earth.
You do.
Yeah. I don't want to. Only thing I keep like to myself a little bit is my love life. But even in my music, that's when you understand what I was going through. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I want people to understand it's not always beautiful. It's sometimes just painful. Sometimes just growing pains. But I persevere and I fight through that. And I think when people see somebody that they admire and as a public figure be one of just the realest, down to earth, humble dudes you can never imagine.
Yeah.
That energy exchange will be paid forward throughout the universe. Somebody can pick up on how I carry myself and how I myself, and they'll continue to do that. And I think that's how the world becomes a better place. One person.
Amen to that. I'm here for it. Well, you know, like you mentioned, your fans are a part of this. They love coming to your page, seeing your music. And you also talk about different relationship stuff in your music too, including like, I know maybe not so recently, but there was a time when you were talking about having babies and all kinds of stuff. So the question is, what kind of woman is Sammie looking for?
That's to be godly. That's first.
Yeah.
I love to pray with my woman, on my woman, for my woman. I like a woman that can do that for me. She has to be ambitious also because I have a lot of things going on. Like I've been blessed to be a singer-songwriter my whole life. I'm in the candle business. I'm working on a book. Next year, pivoting into acting. So I have a lot of things going on. And if she's just wrapped up in me, she can either be intimidated by it or annoyed.
Yeah.
So she needs to be popping and whatever it is she chooses to do. Has to be understanding as well. Like I love music, you know what I'm saying? I will never, and I love me. I will never dim myself and dim my light to make someone feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My last relationship being very, very cautious with what I would post because of some insecurities that my girl had that I didn't even put. I've spent a year starving insecurities, but also dimming my light. And I don't want to ever do that again. I want us to shine.
Wow. That's deep.
And then lastly, I mean, not lastly, but it's more things, but just, I'm fun, man. I'm silly. I'm spontaneous. I want to travel. I just left Mexico, jumped in the ocean real quick. I'm going to Vegas in a couple weeks. I'm going to Aruba next month, wherever's open.
So I'm like, sir, do you have a mask for all of this?
Mask, I got vitamins. I do my research and I'm out, you know what I'm saying? Because just life is so short. You know what I'm saying? We're losing our Kobe.
Seriously.
Losing Chadwick, our Black Panther and our Black Mamba in the same. It's a weird 20, right? And I don't know when God's calling me home. Prayerfully no time soon, but I'm going to life, you know what I'm saying, and into its max. So I'm going to travel and I'm going to drop albums and I'm going to drop poetry and I'm going to give all of myself to the world while I'm here. It only behooves me to do so because we really just don't know our last day moment. So yeah, she has to be down for that too because I'm out here.
Yeah. Safely though. You safely out there.
Hey,
So but I'm sure that probably also you probably have to deal with being kind of extra cautious just because of the position you're in and making sure people are actually there for you, right?
Yeah. Let a woman talk. She'll
Yeah.
tell you is. If she
Oh.
only talks about money and material
Hmm.
things and less substance filled things and less spiritual things and less goal oriented things that she wants to, indulge in,
Yeah.
where she's at with it. If she only wants to talk about Sammie, like the singer, not Sammie Lee Bush Jr., the individual, and I'm just blessed, man. I'm one of them ones you can't really get over. My mom, she's divine. My father is, and I'm Elohim, God who created me. He gave me the spirit of discernment, so
Mm.
it's easy to pick up on what a girl is trying to get up out of me.
Yeah. Vibes are real. I'm
Yeah,
real big on vibes.
yeah. Say less. You know what I'm saying? I can really just let her speak and be, and I can peep. What she's
Yeah.
accomplished.
Well, I do want to touch on, because you mentioned it a little earlier, about some things with mental health. You've been open about, anxiety and dealing with that. How have you kind of been dealing with that during this pandemic? Like, what has helped you get over it, or at least make it to a minimum?
Yeah, I've gone into it twice, and I was earlier last month. Like I announced it, I was going crazy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm.
thing was is I had to see what it was. First of all, the first solution to solving the problem is admitting you have one. So yes, I suffer from anxiety, right? But then I
Hmm.
root was, well, I know what the root is now. Creatively, I've been put in kind of jail. Like I can't perform. I can't go on.
Mm.
Can't have the natural human interaction I'm accustomed to having. So
Right.
once I realized, like, oh, you just tired of Atlanta. Okay, well, go to Mexico. Vegas. That's why these trips are planned, because I need to get out of Atlanta. Like I'm tired of just going to the gym and the studio. That's cool, but that's my life, even when I'm not in a pandemic.
Right.
So, um, I just got my happy back. I got back in the gym. I'm traveling. Uh, I'm shifting my perspective, realizing just how blessed I am. My bills are paid. Um, my little brother just gave birth to a little girl yesterday. Him and his girl.
Oh, congratulations, Uncle
Yeah,
Sammie.
start putting the things in perspective of like the blessings that you still do have during the pandemic
Mm.
war. And I'm happy to be out of that funky space.
Yeah.
And I share that side of me too, because a lot of people think I'm always happy and I'm always positive. Nah, sometimes, I trip out a little bit,
Hmm.
and my family depends on me a lot. And that kind of drove me crazy. Like, I don't like answering the phone and hearing about your problems and your financial needs without you saying, hey, how you doing, nephew? How you doing?
Amen to that, Sammie. Tell him again.
I hate So, like, it was just a lot going on at that one time, and I just had to start cutting people off and cutting things off and getting back to myself. And now I'm
Yeah.
back on the right track.
And I'm sure too, though, having the right people in place as far as a support system really helps you too, right?
Yeah, man. My shout out to my team. Shout out to my homies. They got me out the house. One of my best friends, Tim from high school in Orlando, flew up here twice, back to back weekends, and we just
Mm.
drank too much, but we had a good time. Having people that really really care about your mental and your spiritual is very very imperative. It's all that life is about, actually, is being
Yeah,
about around people who love you, you know what I'm saying, and who you.
seriously.
So I thank everybody that called, text, and pulled up on me and spent some time with me during that time where I was mentally depleted and spiritually drained as well.
I think that's amazing too. And I think it's awesome that you share it, just because so many people go through that. Like, and just think, because you're a celebrity, you're exempt from all those kind of real world issues, but you're not.
If we make a mistake, it's on the blogs, and it's the world's business, where the normal people, you know what I'm saying? We're normal, but our shit is just magnified.
Yeah.
And I posted the other day that I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. I'm just this guy that's blessed and known because I don't do it for fame. Like,
Yeah.
I get
I
that.
mean, you don't do it for fame, but you definitely are famous.
No, but it's just something that I want my people, my following to know, that I care
Yeah.
so about being purpose driven. I care more so about being known as, like, when I die, I wonder if people only talk about my music. I would love for them
Mm.
to say that he was a godly man, and he was a beacon of light, and he was always positive, and he called women's queens and kings. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was
Right.
that way, not just, oh, I think he was a handsome guy that could sing. I don't that I didn't live my life the right way. So
Yeah.
it's why I post those things. Like, I want to be more than just famous and a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Because those things, people are famous for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
You know
All the wrong reasons.
what is that? I would love to be. If they say he just exuded love and peace and godliness, and he lit up the room, then I lived a purposeful life.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you got to tell me. So you're getting ready to drop, as we talk some about your second album. You already dropped Such Is Life,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, side note, you and Tank need to make some more music, because Where's the Lie was my song.
You know,
So
my big brother, man, and he's one of the select few that reached back for me when I was trying to get back on the mainstream of music. Took me on tour,
yeah.
and I love Tank. And I won't spill the beans, but let's just say I flew to LA about a month or two ago to meet with Tank about something. So
Okay. I'm not going to push it. I'll be patient. But okay, so what else can you tell us about your new album? What is the vibe that we're getting from Sammie on this new album that's coming later this year?
Right now I want to put out in December, but it's becoming so. I'll be honest with you. I don't like to compare my albums because they're all uniquely my babies, right? But I felt a little bad promoting Such Is Life, which is phenomenal to me, right? I love Such Is Life, but Sunsets is like a different space. I'm just creatively in pocket, and the music I'm creating is like, it's like R&B gospel. You know what I mean? Really. So I don't know if it's gonna come out in December, because right when I think it's done, I have more to give. So I'm 16 songs in. This might be one of those albums that have 20 songs, 25. And I used to be against that, but I have a lot of myself to give creatively. So December was the date for me, but I don't know. I might hold it so it can get its real push and campaign if the world is back open and I can tour and I can go, touch. But it's really like R&B gospel though. It's full of love. I wrote a song called Unborn, where I don't have a child on the way, but it's about a man. Like, all my life, people have called me a ladies' man. I don't really like that term, because my
That's
father,
the perception, Sammie.
my father was a ladies' man, right? And he committed some infidelities in his relationship with my mother, and I committed some infidelities with some women in my dating life. So there's a generational curse upon myself that I need to break before I bear and bring a child into this world. I never wrote songs that deep like that. You know what I mean? Where's that song? So this person that I'm becoming is spilling out of me in this Sunsets album. So that's why I said it's like R&B gospel. I wrote a song called My God. It's a true gospel record. So I'm just going through this transformation as a man, and the Sunsets album is so vulnerable and open. Like, you're gonna know that I'm in this different spectrum. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to share that with the people, because it's never been done from me before.
I think we're gonna get a good project just because of how much you're putting into it, and it sounds like you're really on a whole nother level when it comes to making this album.
Very much so. I'm always in my feelings. I'm always emotional. I'm always sensitive. But
What's your sign?
I'm Pisces.
I don't know too much about Pisces. Okay, never mind.
I'm actually that, but I'm really I'm just what it is I've owned who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, and that's the thing. Even the things that I don't like about myself, even the things that are too bold and too honest. Nah, it's all me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm putting into the album.
Well, I do hear a lot, and I'm sure you probably heard it too, as far as people saying, R&B is missing something. It doesn't feel like the 90s. Do you agree with that? And what do you feel like really is the state of R&B? What's your thoughts on it?
If you would have asked me that like 10 years ago, yeah, I would say that. But R&B is back, man. It's just not mainstream. Hip hop is the most dominant, influential genre of music, of course, and I think you have country, and after that, so they're just not letting the Where's the Lies on the radio for some reason. You know what I'm saying? It's just too slow, and it's not auto-tune driven, and it's not toxic. You feel me? So once the radio decides to allow the Kalanis and the Seven Streeters and the Tanks, the Ushers, the Sammies, the, you know what I mean? Like, we really,
Yeah.
you real R&B music, you just not playing it on the radio for whatever reason. But
Mm-hmm.
luckily we have these playlists and we have these digital streaming platforms where we can just go at the luxury of our own and play what we want to play. So the R&B music is Kiana Lede is dope. Victoria Monet is dope. Like, these are real R&B. Jasmine Sullivan just dropped a beautiful,
Yes, Jasmine.
like give her a Grammy, please, with Lost One right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can we say that that's a Grammy Award winning song before it hits Billboard, before we play the politics game? Give her a fucking Grammy. You know what I'm saying? She's
For
phenomenal.
real.
So R&B is in a great place, man. We just don't get the looks that the hip hop people get, especially with the radio and mainstream media.
Yeah. And I, you know, and being in radio, I can definitely see that. That's why I feel like a lot of the times I do try to push for, which we're definitely going to be playing all night. So make sure you tune into that, by the way, today on my show, Afternoons. But, you know, I definitely agree. There is a pretty much a saturation of just rap music that's being played, and R&B isn't getting that look and isn't getting that love. That's why I do go hard when, whether it's talking to my boss or somebody else, I'm like, hey, we do say hip hop and R&B, so we got to incorporate both.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You know, and I think about it though. Life is full circle, so you know it'll come back around. I just don't like that they say R&B is dead now, because it's really, really thriving. You know what I'm saying? It's about the platforms that's not giving it the look and the push that it deserves.
Now I'm curious, because I know pre-corona you were on the second part of this Millennium Tour.
Yes.
Did you have any like reservations about doing this one, because you were very, very vocal about being left off the first one? Yeah. Very vocal. So how did you feel?
The first child star of the Millennium, it just didn't make sense to me, you know?
Right.
I was like, who created this lineup? And Sammie just didn't come up in one meeting one time. But shout out to G Squared Events. I earned my stripes. I spoke facts. Like, when I spoke up on that, like, I think people was like, well, you only had I like it. No, I was like, I like it. Crazy Things I Do for Love, Hardball, From the Bottom to the Top, Come With Me, You Should Be My Girl, Kiss Me Through the Phone. I wrote Next Breath for Tank. That's 8 right there, right?
Oh, that's my song. Okay.
That's 8 hit records, like literally hit records. And I know they're hits because when I performed them for 20,000 people on the Millennium Tour for 2020, they all sung it word for word. You know? So I was speaking my facts, and then God works in mysterious ways. I said no to Lloyd 3 times when he invited me to come out on his set. I was like, no, I'm not coming out there, my nigga, to just sing I like it. Damn. Right?
You was in your feelings.
I'm stupid. Right? And it's Atlanta, it's your city. Show these niggas, like, you know, and I'm like, nah. And then he called me one more time, and I pulled up, and Atlanta went crazy when I came on the stage. And the promoters was, I think, like, oh shit, we might have dropped the ball on this kid. He did that in like 45 seconds of his presence. Let's give him a set. And then I went on the Everlasting tour, my own tour after, and it sold out. And I think the reason why I sold out, and I was nervous, because I'm like, damn, like, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? It's not me.
Yeah.
Are these girls gonna really come out to see me? I think they came because they didn't get their Sammie X on the Millennium.
I was gonna say, Sammie, you really asking where these girls gonna come out and see you?
No, man, I'm. A lot of people don't know this because I hide it. I'm shy as hell. Like, I'm very like. I'm confident.
You're what?
I'm shy.
Really?
Yeah. I was scared.
Yeah, you do.
But they that sold out, and then that's actually how they reached out. It was following that tour, and somebody from there DM me and was like, yo, I'm working on something. Who's your manager? Let him there. And then be it. It was the Millennium Tour 2020. So I didn't feel kind of way like with anybody on the tour. I just was trying to figure out how on earth did Sammie not come up in the conversation, because it was the first. It was me, then Bow Wow, then Lil Romeo, and et cetera, et cetera. And it wasn't successful. I have platinum plaques on my wall from my first time out. I'm the youngest to have a #1 in the country at 12. It just didn't make sense. These are things that are really facts. It's not me popping my shit. You can look it up. You can do your research. You can't deny that. So I was blessed to be on the second rollout. Super, super humbled and blessed.
That's dope. I feel like I could ask you 1,000 more questions. I'm not going to keep you here all day. But I definitely want to thank you for coming on. Today's a big day. We got the visuals for all night. Please go watch, go support Sammie in that. And we're definitely excited to be a part of your journey for the new album that's coming.
Thank you.
Whether that be at the end of the year or not.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for the gospel R&B, and you
Yeah.
definitely just got to keep us posted with everything. Congrats on everything too, because like I said, you've been in this and you're still having all this success so many years later.
God is good, and my fans, man, I want to say thank y'all, and thank you to you for taking the time out to talk to me and loan to me your platform. Thank you for supporting all night. The visual is live right now on Vivo, so go check it out. We want to get to 1 million views or better. And I'm just humble, man, to be able to do it the way I want to do it. And after being in this business for 21 years, and I feel like I haven't peaked, I feel like I'm just becoming.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting, and I'm grateful, and I'm in a great place, you know.
We love to see it. We love to see a king in a great place.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you again, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure.
Of course, my love. Have a beautiful day.
All right, you too.
Ashe.